This is McCook's Mr. Billson. Honored to have you here. I've known two people that were there on the day that the mankind shook the earth. The first was Gerald Oakkins. I called him Father Oakkins down there at Trenton. He was a great man, a brilliant man. I ran with his children to a degree. And he was, one of the three wise men in my young life, youth, if you will. He was in the military during the war, and then after World War II, he went down to Nevada and was stationed there for a while. And they gave them orders to go out one day, and they dug trenches for them. And they were ordered to get in the trenches, and they were told to get down and hide, that they were going to be setting off an atom bomb. And after they set off the atom bomb, they were then supposed to stand up and walk in to the area. They wanted to see how troops reacted and how well they did just after a nuclear explosion in that immediate area. Yeah, nothing could go wrong with that. But he was there. As he ducked down in the trench, he told that he closed his eyes and covered his ears the best he could, because they said the noise would be deafening. And he said he had his hands over that, and he closed his eyes, and he said it was like somebody had just turned a bright light, a real bright, hot light on. And he said it just lit up the area like you can't imagine for just a few seconds. He said then the concussion came, and the high wind and everything else that came along, and then they were ordered to stand up and then move in to the area that had just had that nuclear bomb exploded. Yep. And yes, he did have health issues for the rest of his life because of that. The second person that was there when mankind shook the earth with a bomb was my wife's uncle, Robert Bellamy. They called him Bob Bellamy. When I knew him, he was running a gas station, and I was going down that direction dating my now present wife. And a wonderful man to be around, an enjoyment. He always had time for you, loved to visit, and a mechanic, and could just do about anything. He had the time, and he was just a community-minded person. He always helped everybody. With that in mind, though, he had joined the military in 1950, Navy, and they went through the Korean War on an aircraft carrier setting off Korea. And there they were then in 52 ordered to go to the South Seas, Pacific Seas. They didn't know where and told nothing. And once they got to a location, they were told that they were going to be setting off the first hydrogen bomb. And everybody that wasn't on duty was ordered out on the flight deck. And the reason they were doing that, they wanted to see what effect it would have at that range. And the closest ships were 10 miles away. They were some distance beyond that.
Some 8,000 men will view the event from this point. Oh, by the way, the carrier over there is the Rendova. She's primarily set up as a base for fighter security and helicopter reentry.
With that aircraft carrier, but they were still too close to a hydrogen bomb, be that as it may. They were told to turn their backs to it and to close their eyes or have goggles on, whichever they preferred, or both, and then to cover their ears with earplugs and then to hold their ears as they set off the bomb because of the noise. And they did, and they said they saw first you saw the flash of light, even with your eyes closed, the shields and everything, you could still see almost through them. It was so bright. And they said then the concussion and noise followed, of course, sometime later, and said it was deafening. Say a hydrogen bomb is incredible comparatively to the first atom bombs, without question. He said, though, that was their first, and he had some health issues after it as well. But it was interesting. He lived, just passed away here a couple years ago, and it was interesting. He 2 weeks before he died, he finally got an apology from the Navy for making all of those men go up there and stand on the deck just to see what would happen. Just to see what would happen. Yeah. But I've known 2 men that have been through that. And we can only pray that mankind can find more peaceful ways to be able to live together. But more and more, I think that the next war is not going to be nuclear, but rather drone. Because our drones are becoming so sophisticated, I don't think there's very many armies that could whip our drone complex that we now have. Absolutely. Wouldn't matter how many millions you'd send at us, we could take them out. We could take them out. Absolutely. Yeah. But that's the 2 men. Thank you for watching.